Anyway, so this was my dad's company, and a little bit of history. The name S Schmalberg refers to Morris and Sam Schmalberg, which were uncles of my dad's. And they smartly came to the United States before the war. World War II broke out. So they had been established here and had this business. There were actually three brothers. There was another brother, Sam, that also had a flour company. So they were sort of competitors. But he dealt mainly in millinery. And my father's family was in Poland, and he was the only survivor of two brothers, a sister, his parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles. So he's lucky, and I'm lucky. So he came over here, which I'll just give you a short synopsis because it's an interesting story. After the war, they went to the PP camps, and they were placed there. And my father started talking with this soldier, American soldier, who happened to be from New York. And my father told him, I know I have people here. They have a flour business. They were his mother's relatives, so he knew the name Schmalberg. And the soldier called his parents in New York and found my uncle. And my uncle had some, connections to the government and got my father on one of the first boats that came out. So he came in and they became his surrogate parents. And he started working.
How old was your dad when that happened?
My father was young, like 17. So he was bar mitzvahed under slats in a hiding place. So he was re-bar mitzvahed in Israel many years later. So their children were all artists and fashion designers and lawyers, and so they didn't want any part of this business. And so my father was fortunate to get it, and now Warren and I are carrying it on. And my nephew, Adam, who is right there, is now the fourth generation. And I think he's liking it. And he's become a really big asset to the company. So we're liking that. Times in this kind of business, especially in a domestic company, are very, very hard. When I was a child and I used to come to work with my dad, you'd walk down the streets and the push carts and the fabrics on the rolls and the trucks. I mean, you couldn't get down this block because there were huge trucks on both sides unloading garments and fabric. And, if you didn't know you were in somewhat of the garment center, you wouldn't know it by what appears here. I mean, this building is not all garment center anymore. This whole district, now we have writers and publishers and accountants, and that just never was. So the industry is very, very difficult, which I'm sure you all know. So somehow or another we have survived, and one of the reasons is a lot of our competitors have not. And, as my brother says, we believe in what we do. And there have been rough times, and we've had to put money in, but somehow or another we're still here, and hoping that,
maybe they could start paying me.
He even gets insurance. So,
That's worth more.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So that's the history of the company.
And what we try to do is enhance whatever's being made by embellishing it, by adding jewels, nail heads, or pearls, and
kind of like this.
kind of like that, yeah. just like that. And so we've done work for just about all the local New York designers, from Donna Karen to Betsy Johnson, Anna Sui, Rebecca Taylor, Catherine Maladrino, a lot of them. We did a dress that once went to the Oscars for Francesco Acosta at Calvin Klein Couture. So we know how to make things look beautiful.
So if somebody wants an original flower, do they, like the Sex and the City flower, do they show you a picture or show you the dress and say, make me a flower that would go with this?
The
Or do they have
designers come in.
ideas?
They come in with either photos, or a lot of people come in with pictures of real flowers.
Yeah, this was actually one of Oscar's flowers. He frequently, I don't know, this is the new claim to fame here. I don't even think Deborah's seen this.
No, I haven't.
This is one of Oscar de la Renta's gowns. This just came out 2 weeks ago in the New York Times Sunday magazine or newspaper. But it's an embroidered gown of carnations, and we actually made these fabric carnations to accent the embroidered gown. Mm-hmm. And when Warren and made these, Oscar actually did drop off a carnation, a live carnation, for them to copy.